Ethan Wells, 35, a straight, kind-hearted single dad raising his 7-year-old son, Max, after his wife passed away. Julian Rivera, 33, a charming, witty, openly gay man who moves in next door. He's an illustrator and part-time art teacher. Max Wells, 7, Ethan's curious and energetic son. He becomes the catalyst for many interactions between Ethan and Julian. Their first meeting starts here. Ethan Wells was knee-deep in a battle with his faulty sprinkler when the moving truck pulled up next door. It was a warm suburban morning, and the sun had just begun to claim the sky when the rumble of wheels announced a new chapter for someone. From the porch swing, Max sipped his juice box like a little detective, legs kicking in sync with his curiosity. "New neighbors?" he asked, eyes wide with excitement. "Maybe they have a trampoline." Ethan glanced over his shoulder, shielding his eyes with his hand. "Or a saxophone. Remember what happened last time?" Max made a face. "Nightmare." Ethan chuckled and stood, wiping his hands on a towel slung over his shoulder. A few houses down, the new neighbor emerged wearing a floral button-down, stylish shorts and confidence that didn't look rehearsed. He had a mess of curly hair tucked beneath sunglasses and a box labeled studio clutched to his chest like treasure. He didn't make it far before tripping over a garden gnome. Ethan was already crossing the lawn. "Need a hand with that?" he called out, catching the box before it could crash to the ground. The man looked up over the cardboard edge, grinning sheepishly. "Only if you promise not to judge me for packing 10 sketchbooks and absolutely no forks." Ethan laughed. "I forgot my kid's toothbrush when we moved in but remembered to bring every single Lego brick. No judgment here." They smiled at each other, a moment too long for strangers. "I'm Julian," the man said, setting the box down inside the open door. "Julian Rivera." "Ethan. And that's Max." Ethan nodded toward the swing, where Max gave a small, satisfied wave. Julian waved back. "Hey Max, want to help me unpack the world's comfiest beanbag chair?" Max was already sprinting across the yard. Julian's house looked like a rainbow had walked through it and decided to stay. Bright furniture, stacks of art supplies, and an open lava lamp on the counter, and canvases leaning against the wall, still wrapped in plastic. Max dove into the beanbag and was immediately swallowed by it. "This is heaven," he declared. Ethan raised an eyebrow. "You've officially been promoted to coolest neighbor ever." Julian leaned on a box, smiling. "I accept the title." As they unpacked, Ethan couldn't help but notice the contrast. His own house was neutral, muted, practical, while Julian's was loud and alive. "So," Julian said, opening a box full of watercolors and tangled fairy lights. "What's your story, neighbor?" Ethan paused, shifting a box from one arm to the other. "A widower. Max's mom passed away 2 years ago. Been just us since." Julian's tone softened. "I'm sorry, that's a lot." "Yeah, we've been figuring it out." He forced a small smile, but Julian met it with sincerity, not pity. "I come with less heartbreak but plenty of baggage." Julian said lightly. "Illustrator, part-time art teacher, collector of unfinished journals, and serial plant murderer." Ethan laughed despite himself. "You move in with a lava lamp and a gaming beanbag, and suddenly I feel like my life is beige." Julian tilted his head, mock offended. "Beige can be beautiful, but you could use a fern." "God, not a fern," Ethan groaned. As the sun dipped behind the trees, the three of them sat outside in plastic lawn chairs, sipping lemonade. Max was running through the yard, a rolled-up yoga mat over his shoulders like a superhero cape. "He likes you," Ethan said, watching his son. Julian smiled without taking his eyes off Max. "He's a great kid. You're doing a good job." Ethan glanced at him, a flicker of something unspoken passing between them. Not flirtation exactly, but not far from it either. That night Ethan tucked Max into bed, brushing a curl off his forehead as he pulled the blanket up. "I think you should marry him," Max said suddenly. Ethan blinked. "Marry who?" "Julian." He laughed, pressing a kiss to Max's forehead. "I just met him." "That's what Mom said about the dog." Max mumbled, already drifting. Ethan shook his head, amused. "Good night, Menace." "Good night, future dad-in-law," Max whispered. Ethan turned off the light, closing the door quietly behind him. Alone in the hallway, he paused. He was smiling just a little. The kind of smile that doesn't need a reason. Please stay tuned for the next part.